In today's show, we're going to show you how to cut and sew a block from the Go Friendship chain die. Hey quilters, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. Thanks for joining us today. Brock's in the house. How are you, my friend?
I'd be a lot better if we didn't have that technical issue with the video.
A little sound
I had to lose it and had to loop it.
Had to loop it?
Loop it.
Is it better?
Well, no, but we're starting the show, so.
We're starting the show, it doesn't matter. Did you have a happy Thanksgiving?
I had a good Thanksgiving, yes.
Because last time we were together, we talked about stuffing and dressing and holiday movies. Did you have stuffing and or dressing, and did you watch holiday movies?
Yes for stuffing. I don't think I had any dressing.
Okay.
And it depends on what you call a holiday movie.
Oh, that should be our question next week.
I have not gotten any new like Hallmark movies watched.
Okay.
But
okay.
I've watched other things that are based around holidays that most people would probably not think of.
Oh, like The Nightmare Before Christmas? Is that a Christmas movie?
That's a great question.
Okay, well, we have questions coming up here later this month. We'll ask that question. All right, let's look at where everybody's watching from. Sorry, I'm so distracted here. Ellie is watching, and we're so glad you're here. And Pam is watching from North Dakota. Ooh, I bet it's so cold there. It is really frosty here in Omaha. And Gabby is watching from Illinois. Thanks for joining us today. All right. Let's see what we have from the intro video. We have some great projects. Okay, Brock, tell me what die this is. This is Jody G. It's so small on my screen.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Maybe the
it's
4-inch
like a star,
cube?
one of our stars, but like
well, I want to
it has to be made with like a 4-inch cube or something.
I believe so. Jody, if you're watching, will you let us know which dies you used to make this? Because that is so pretty. I like the sashing between it. So many 4-inch blocks. Okay, next we have Nanette J. Nanette, this is a great quilt because she obviously made test blocks and then she put them all together to make a quilt. I like it a lot. Sashing's kind of a new thing. I love it. All right, here is the photo of the day. It is me and the lovely Erica. And in honor of Brock, we are wearing our May the 4th Be With You shirts. So the question of the day, since we're doing the friendship chain die, who is one of your dearest friends? So Brock, who's one of your dearest friends?
Guy over here to my right, my Justin Kenyon.
Kenyon.
One of my dearest
Kenyon's
guys.
producing our show today, and he said Brock is one of his friends, so that's good. All right, in the comment section, who's your dearest friends? Let's know. Today, I'm going to give away one of our Go Friendship chain dies. Be sure, quilters, to keep up with all of our future events on the AccuQuilt event page. That way, you're never going to miss an exciting show, and Brock will announce the winner at the end of our show. I'm excited for that. All right, so the Go link up is a free pattern at AccuQuilt.com, and you're going to need the Go Friendship chain die, a 6x24 cutting mat, purple, yellow, green, and white fabrics, and it is the quilt that is hanging behind me. And we'll talk about the blocks here in just a second, okay? But first, let's take a look at our die. All right, so this is the Go Friendship chain die, and I like it for so many reasons. First of all, it's on a 6x24 die board. It's gonna fit through all of our cutters, including the Go Me. You wanna make sure that you have a 6x24 cutting mat. Some of you in your quilting head think, oh, I have a 10x24 cutting mat, I can just use that. Now, if it's bigger, it kind of moves through the cutter and it's gonna make your fabric cut wonky. Now, there are a total of 6 shapes on the die, and they are screen printed. So here is A and B and C. Now, you're gonna notice that we've cut off specialized dog ears here. And you're going to say to me, oh, wait, Pam, are B and C not the same? Are they the same shape? And I'm going to tell you they are, but we talk about lengthwise grain. So this shape, are we good over there? Oh, it's the warehouse. This shape, you want the lengthwise grain to go here, parallel to the shape, and here it's going to go on the inside so that you get a nice and tight, okay? Lengthwise grain is really important. So this is one of the shapes that go here, and this is the shape that goes on the outside. So it's really important to not just say, oh, they're the same shape, I'm just going to cut all the fabric the same, because that's not how it works, okay? All right, so let's look at a block, first of all. Here is a block that you can make. Look at how fun this is. This is just the friendship chain block. What size does it finish to, Brock? Do you know off the top of your quilting head?
Is that 10 inches?
Yes, good job. Look at you knowing stuff. And each of these sections are 5-inch, so it could work with the 10-inch cube and the 5-inch cube. So this is a really fun colorway without any sashing. But let's walk to the back, and I'm going to talk about the blocks in this pattern. Did our good friend Gina Jemposaw make this? She did. Okay, I love Gina Jemposaw for so many reasons, but one of the reasons I love her the most is that she likes to take blocks and create different elements and units with it. They take the elements here and create these really fun different units rather than just putting all the pieces together. Notice she has sashing and she has cornerstones. So when we made the video for this die, the lovely Eric and I are going to show you how to make these blocks for the center. Notice they're different. Okay, they have the green and the white on the outside. Today, I'm going to show you how to make blocks 1 and 2. This is block number 2. And then this is block number 1. So these 2 blocks make up the outer borders of the quilt. And it's really important to read the directions, because what you don't want is, for example, to put your green here. You just want to make sure that all the pieces work. Okay? See how they're working? All right. But I love the bright colors of this. It kind of reminds me of Mardi Gras. You could totally make it any colorway that you wanted. And can we get a shot of Brock, the quilt behind Brock? Because that one is really fun. Can you see it? There we go. So do you want to point out the little elements of the friendship chain there, Mr. Brock? They're the white.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. Right? Beautiful. There you go. And that little pinwheel block, I really like it. So think of colorways. We have this great program called Go Quilt, and it will allow you to change the colorway of thousands of patterns on our website, including this one. So let's lay out our fabric on our die. And again, depending on the color and which block you're making, some of the fabric might be facing up, some might face down, some might be fan folded, okay? So shape A is right here, and it's this purple and yellow fabric, okay? So we can fan fold yellow over and purple over shape A, okay? We can always cut 6 layers of cotton. You can also cut flannel, felt, denim wool, cork, minky. Start with 1 or 2 of those layers. Now, shape C, hold on here, I'm reading all my pieces, okay. And C and B, we're gonna need the green fabric. Oh, wait, hold please. I'm reading the pattern. Oh, okay, green over shape C, and then white facing up over shape C. So just depending on kind of the shapes that you need, we also need some white bees, so we'll lay some fabric down there, okay? So I have this pattern laid out, and it's going to tell me C is green and B is green. C and B are white as well. All right, so I have my little fabric. I am using a solid white, so I can fan fold over my shapes. If you were using a white that had a pattern, you would want to make sure they were facing up. Okay, there we go. All right, Brock, before I cut, should we ask people who are telling us what their friends are, who their friends are?
Yes.
Not what.
So Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
That, her quilting buddy is one Lucy Ricardo.
A very
As I
fiery
understand,
redhead.
She has some splaining to do. But that's, I mean, if you're gonna like have a quilting buddy, Lucy Ricardo's pretty great.
I feel like that's a great choice. That's a great choice.
Sherry says her girls are Barb and Sandy. Her Jersey girls are
Jersey
Barb
girls.
and Sandy.
Okay.
And then Jenny says that my best friend is Michelle. She and I have been besties since high school, and her kids call me Auntie, and my kids call her Auntie. They are literally yin and yang. Michelle is not very crafty, but she's far more organized than I am.
Oh, see, maybe what you need is Michelle to come over and organize your crafting supplies. Just saying.
Yin and yang.
Okay, yin and yang. All right, let us know in the comments section who's your dear friend. All right, so I have my mat on. I'm going to cut. I'm going to use my Go Big today, but remember it's on a 6x24, so you could use your Go Me. All right, here we go. And just because Greg is standing there, we're going to give it a little love and slide this mat. Don't lift. See how super staticky it is here in the Dream Studio? All of our pieces are just kind of sticking to our mat. We'll pull them off here. It's because winter has arrived. I don't know if it's arrived where you live, but for sure it has arrived where we live. All right, now I want to make sure I keep my shapes B and C separate, okay? And the reason is then I'm doing the right lengthwise grain, okay? All right, here we go. All righty. Now, here is my pro tip. The pattern shows you how to make 5 different quarter blocks. So be sure and follow the pattern so that you sew your blocks correctly. And when I'm doing it, for example, I'm going to sew all of my quarter blocks that are block number 1 together first, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I'm going to sew my units together, and then I can create those blocks. So kind of cool. All right, so we're going to lay out our pieces. We're going to start here with, this is quarter block number 1. And we're just going to lay out our pieces. And again, I try really hard when we do these to, show you how to do some chain piecing. So we'll do a little chain piecing. Okay, there we go. And now this is really important because this right here is shape B, and you're going to look right here and see how we've cut off the dog ears. So this piece is going to come perfectly here. Perfectly, it's going to line up. Okay, so this is, I'm reading all my stuff here. This is B, and this is C. Again, you're going to see right here, we've specialized those dog ears, so it's going to line up perfectly. All right, and then here, this is B. Okay, and you know it's going to line up right because in your quilting head, if you try to do it this way, see, it doesn't work. Okay. And then we know that this is a B and it is green as well. Okay. All right, so now I've laid out all of my little block pieces, so now I can start to chain piece. And I think that it's great. You don't have to use pins. You could if you wanted to. But we're just going to start here, and we're going to go down a 1/4 inch seam. All right, Mr. Brock, so while we're talking and sewing, should we talk about who has friends and what their names are?
We can do that.
Okay.
So Cindy says that one of my best friends is Nancy, and she took me to Missouri Star Quilt Company in December of 2018. That's how she got started.
Oh my gosh, that's a fabulous story. Oh, and when you're telling us who your friends are, tell them if you influenced them to start quilting or if they influenced you to start quilting. Because I feel like that's a similar theme, right? Don't you think, Brock, that took them to Missouri Star and now they were quilters?
It is a common ideal.
Your mom, Mrs. Brock, Mama Brock, is a quilter.
She is.
As we know. Who got her into quilting?
I don't know. I feel like she's just always done it. She grew up in a
crafty?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But she grew up in a time when in a small town in Iowa, so it was like
Oh.
you kind of had to be able to mend your own clothes and things like that. But I do know that her sewing bestie is Miss Karen North. So shout out to both of them.
There you go.
Love this, and I'm sure I'll get a buzz on my phone here in a minute. Thanking them for it. But yeah.
Excellent.
See, Carrie W. says, I have so many wonderful friends. My longest friend is from when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
We live across the country from each other, but we still keep in touch.
Okay, that's cool.
Lynn Keller, my husband until he passed, and now my 94-year-old friend for whom I've known 61 years.
Wow.
61. That is
That's
an impressive
amazing.
friendship.
That's an impressive friendship.
Trudy says, my sister who lives across the country, but we try to get together every year for a few weeks a year.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay.
We've got one weird one here from an Erica Boatger.
I wonder who that is.
She says, yes, indeed, the one and only Mr. Brock is my best friend and closest friend.
I've
not
heard
just
that.
in on camera, but in real life.
I've heard that.
Weird.
I know.
No mention of you. I thought she would have been like, oh, Pam, she's actually one of my closest friends.
One would think.
That's
It's amazing. Okay, while I'm pressing these, while Brock is spinning some webs over there, little truths, half-truths.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying.
Are you saying that I'm falsifying this information that's coming across the computer?
I believe so. So I'm pressing, when it's a purple center, shape A, I'm going to press away. Okay? And then you're going to see here in a second that when it is a yellow center, I'm going to press towards the yellow. And hey, Brock, why are we using our little shovel iron today? Because we haven't used this in a hot minute.
We haven't. We got a request from it last week of someone who had saw it on the website and wanted to know a little bit more about it, so we'll pop it out on the show.
This is actually a really handy-dandy little iron. We call it a shovel iron because, like right here, it looks like the end of a shovel. And it's great to have next to your embroidery machines because sometimes you need to iron down some fusible. Here is our big tip, and we can't find it. We put it in a mason jar, and then it doesn't get the mason jar will not melt, and it will not get the pressing mat hot. Okay, so now look. We now have sewn this little quarter block, okay? And because we pressed in opposite directions, I can now sew these little half units together. Look at that, okay? And they're gonna line up because I pressed it away. Hey, and don't forget, this video, all of our videos, are live. And when all of our live shows are recorded. And Brock, where can they find those recorded videos?
They stream straight to our Facebook and YouTube pages, and that is where they will live for eternity.
For eternity. Excellent. Okay. Somebody asked me that yesterday from the show. They're like, Pam, how do I go back and watch yesterday's show? And I said, go to our YouTube channel. Okay.
We've got a couple questions coming in now.
Good.
So, Etley asked, if I have a Go system as opposed to the Go Big, what size will my finished block be?
Oh, what size will it be?
It's still going to finish to 10 inches.
Yep.
Because this particular die fits through all of our Go cutters,
Yes.
including the Go Me.
Including the
So
Go Me.
no matter which cutter you run it through, the size stays the same.
It does. It's really brilliant, actually, because the pieces are going to cut. And in your quilting head, you think, oh, it's on a 6x24 die board, 6 inches wide, it's going to make a 6-inch block. But no, the pieces allow it to make a 10-inch block.
Another question here from Dee.
Hi, Dee.
Any ideas to store cubes, strip dies, and bobs? My collection is growing, but not my space. That is a common situation.
So it's funny you asked that, because here at AccuQuilt, we're kind of doing some cleaning and revamping of things. So when I have strip dies, let's say this is a strip die, I store them like this, okay? And because you can write on your dies, there's no die please. Across the top, I take a Sharpie and I write friendship chain die. So and then I stack them on the floor against the wall. And then I can just go through and go, oh, there's the friendship chain die. I don't have to look on the side, because on the side of every die, there is a label right here. Hey, Brock, do you want to talk about our app? Do you know about our app?
I've not been familiarized with our app.
So
We've got a great app.
AccuQuilt has an app, and it will, hold please, I'll find it. Okay, hold on. It's a free app. Go to the App Store. Hold on, I'll find it. And, okay. Oh, Greg, hi. Okay, see right there? Can we show that, or should I do it overhead? Oh, look, right there. RA. Ta-da!
Wow.
So,
Look at
it
that
will list
convenience.
all of your dies. I do this for work, so it doesn't really have all my dies. It lists them alphabetically. Okay, now watch this. If I were to, oh, hang on, Greg, hold on. If I want to add the Go Friendship Chain die, right here where the plus sign is, I press it, and it says you can look up the SKU, which is the 5-digit number on the side, or scan the barcode. Watch this. Oh, there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to bring it right here. Ta-da! And then look, the Go Friendship Chain 10-inch finished die. And I say, yes, add this.
Wow.
I know. Now, there are 2 caveats, okay? It's not going to tell you if you have a duplicate die. Like if I were later in the day try to add the friendship chain, it would add it again, okay? But so before you add a die, you should go through, it's alphabetical. So look through and say, oh yeah, I don't have, the friendship chain die. When you scan a cube, it's going to say mix and match 8-inch cube. It's not going to tell you the 8 dies that are inside each and every cube. But it will scan the cube and the angles and the companions, corners separately. It is a great project for teenagers over the holidays. If you have lots of dies and you're thinking, what should I do with them? I wonder which ones I have. Give your phone to a teenager, because they already want it anyway, and they can scan barcodes. And then you'll have a library. I know. Okay, that's my tip of the day.
The wonders of technology.
I know. If you purchase product from AccuQuilt.com, when you create an account, it also will tell you the dyes there. But like sometimes maybe you're going to your retailer. Brock, do you know that we have like only a handful left of the Go Bee and Beehive dyes on our website?
I believe we are sub 20 at this point.
We are sub 10.
Sub 10.
Sub 10. So if you're looking, you want to get that Go Bee and Beehive, you can get it from us or check out your local retailer, because I feel like we're going to sell out here soon. But our retailers are a great resource. So if you're buying dyes from your retailers, make sure you add it to your app. Okay, so now I've sewn the quarter block. Really excited about this. Okay, and Brock, how big is this?
5 inches.
5 inches. He's correct. Okay. All right, so now let's sew this other one together, and then I'll show you how it looks, because it's super cool. Hold, please. There. That's how it's going to go. I'll show you. I thought it was very clever of Gina Jumpasaw to figure this all out. Okay, so now I need an A and a B again, or an A and an A that are colors. And I need a B and a C. Hold on, I'm just checking my pattern to see. Oh, tell us who your friends are. We want to know.
So one thing we're getting a lot of, and it's understandable, a lot of people are saying that their significant other is their best quilting friend, usually because for many of these comments that I'm seeing, that their husbands support their fabric addictions.
Yes, yes.
Their sewy, crafty addictions, their
Yes.
need to constantly be bringing more in
Yes.
than what you're producing.
Yes.
So good on you guys.
Good on you.
Support the crafty ladies.
Support the crafting women in your life. Okay. All right, so ready? So now I'm just going to do the chain piecing just like I did before. Remember, we've cut off the dog ears, so this is going to line up perfectly. Yes, Mr. Ray, he is a good supporter of my quilting habit, which is nice. I did get a call from Miss Oakley, my granddaughter who is 9. She called the other day and said, Lola, I've been counting. I said, that's good. And she said, I only at this house, at Taylor's house, I only have 2 quilts here. And Dad, who is Taylor, who is my son, he has more than me. Okay, he has more because he has 3. Okay?
3 is more than 2.
3 is more than 2. And she wanted to know when it was that I was going to make her a new quilt. And I reminded her that at my house, she has way more than anybody else. And do you know what her response was?
I don't live at your house.
That was exactly her response.
I can think like a 9-year-old girl.
You can think like a 9-year-old. So I don't know, Brock, maybe we're going to do a quilt along this year with AQS, the lovely Erica and I.
Next year?
Next year in 2024. We did
really
one
hope
this
we're
year.
not doing another one this year.
You know, we did one this year. We did 5 this year. We're going to do 5 next year, starting in February. And so I think one of those I'm going to make for the Miss Oakley. So unless you have a great idea of a die that I should use to make Oakley a quilt. Just saying. Okay.
Oh, I'll be thinking about that.
You noodle on that. Okay, I'm going to press it just like I did the other ones. I'm going to press towards the yellow and away from the purple. Tell us, Mr. Brock, whose friends people are.
All right, we've got one question here from Virginia.
Hi, Virginia.
The way you're laying the fabric on the dies, do you always get it on the straight of the grain? I have a problem getting it on the grain. What is the secret?
Oh, yes, I always get it on the grain. And the secret is the pull test. See this? Look. High and tight. Lots of sound. So I want to make sure that my lengthwise grain is parallel to this blade. As it goes through the cutter, you want it to cut on the lengthwise grain. That way your pieces are going to be nice and tight. So just do the pull test and the pull test, not the pool test, the pull test, and find that lengthwise grain. Sometimes it's hard, like especially on batiks, because they have such a tighter weave, but it really will make a difference in your quilting if you're doing lengthwise grain.
Yes.
Okay.
Another question here from Kathy Nelson.
Hi, Kathy.
When you store the mats and dies upright like you were showing, is there a risk of them warping?
Yeah, so I just used my mat because I didn't have a 6 by 24 die. I store my mats flat.
Mats flat, dies upright.
Yep.
The dies don't have to worry about any.
No. And you can stack your cubes on top of each other. Like if you own the 10-inch cube and the companion angles and corners, you can just stack them right up next to it.
Make a Jenga tower.
You can make a Jenga tower. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you want to make sure you're storing those dies like books on a shelf.
Yes.
Okay, so if this was my die, I'm going to store it like this. Okay. Yeah. Good questions today.
And we've got a couple more who are very curious about our app, so we may have to.
Oh, yes, I can pull it back up.
Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
Asked, would it be better to scan each die in the 8-inch cube or just the cube itself?
So that is a really good question. And I would tell you, hey, oh, hold please. We have a companion, or we have a cube right here. Let's see if it works. Pull the skinny one first. Okay. Okay. All right. Find the app. It's a free app. Looks like our little A.
Dramatic music so that I could play.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to press the add button. Okay. I'm going to scan the barcode. Okay, you ready? It says that it is the 3-inch finished bow tie. So it will scan the items individually. I would tell you, quilters, to scan the items individually, but somewhere maybe take a picture, a photo and keep it on your phone of, I have the 8-inch cube and the 9-inch cube. Because many of you have elements and components of the cubes separate from the cubes, because you've been buying dies longer than there have been cubes. What would you think, Brock? Do you think she should scan the individual pieces? Or should you just have the 6-inch cube?
I am on the fence about it because I feel like, it would save, kind of room in your phone if you just say, oh, I know I have the 6-inch cube, so I have all the dies that go with the 6-inch cube. But in the situation that, one of the dies should get lost or maybe one of the blades in it and you have to replace it, then you'd have to do that one individually rather than buying a whole new cube. So it's a personal preference, I guess.
Personal preference, but I like that. I like the idea of scanning them separately, because then sometimes okay, so let's say you're at Brock's Quilt Shop and they have this amazing quilt and the pattern's there and it needs 3-inch finished bow ties. Well, now you can look on your phone and say, oh yes, I have the 6-inch companion corners. It has a 3-inch finished bow tie in it. Great question. People weigh in. We'd love to hear. Okay, what's the other question about the app?
Something that comes up a lot that we've been found. Oh, it just shifted and I lost it, but wait.
It went away.
Here we go. How does the app work with die bundles?
You have to individually. So like if you get the strip die bundle that has all of the 18 sizes of strip dies, you're going to want to go in there and scan each one of them, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question, though.
One more question about die storage.
Okay.
Would it be okay if you sandwiched the mats between the upright dies?
You could do that. The problem I have with that is then I'm trying to find the mats, So I just have a tendency to just leave them all laying out flat. Oh, quilters, you do not want to leave like your mats in your car in the summertime because they'll just melt, you know? Okay. Look at this. Okay, do we have more questions before I show you people where these go?
Let's see. Nancy had the question of she's looking for ways of repurposing ideas for worn out cutting mats. Can you help?
Yes, so we carry now at AccuQuilt June Taylor tote bags. And a lot of those tote bags finish to bottoms that are like 6 inches wide. So I like to take my 6x12 mats or my 5x10 mats and put them in the bottom of my shopping bags, my shopping totes that I take to the grocery store, because then they have a flat surface and then my groceries fit in them better. So that's a great idea. What I'm gonna tell you not to do is if you have a 6x24 mat like this and it's really worn out, how do you know you need a new mat? Well, when it stops cutting cleanly, okay? And sometimes quilters will say, oh, well, I'm gonna take this 6x24 mat and down here it's really worn, but not here. So I'm just gonna take, an X-Acto knife and I'm gonna cut it. Well, the problem is this mat has layers of plastic that has been put together, and the minute you cut it like that, the layers are gonna start to peel. I've had that happen just recently. We threw that away. So I wouldn't cut up your old mats, but that's what you can do. You can also check with your local recycle place to see if they recycled them. Okay, what other questions do we have, Brock?
So we've gotten pretty well caught up on questions.
Okay.
We've got some people shouting out their friends.
Okay, let's give shout outs to friends.
So Paula Davis says, I'm unfortunately housebound, so my 2 quilting friends are Pam and Erica.
Yay! I'm
knew it
sorry
was
you're housebound. I hope you're feeling better soon.
I already read that one, but I didn't mark it off. Me.
It's okay.
We got another one from Erica. My best bestie Judy and I have been friends since high school, and I dragged her into being my quilting buddy too.
That's true.
We are the family we choose.
Erica, that's lovely. I have friends that I have known since 3rd grade. So since I was 8, which is kind of fun. None of them quilt, ironically.
Kathy says, my BFF Marilyn taught me how to quilt. She tried teaching me sewing, but I had so much trouble with following a pattern, not knowing how to do that. She placed a simple block pattern in front of me and said, try this. Once I did, I put it together quite easily and have been hooked ever since.
I love that.
Quilts together regularly, and she is my built-in expert.
Excellent. See, I love that you have quilting buddies. That's super fun. All right, Brock, why should our customers use an AccuQuilt fabric cutter?
Because it's the best.
It is the best. It truly is. And because imagine trying to cut these shapes, like these, with a template or a ruler.
No.
They're just not ever gonna be perfect.
I wouldn't even dream of it.
No. Okay, so now that we've sewn a couple, let's show you where they belong in the quilt. So these are the corners. Okay. So notice, quilters, you're only gonna need 4 of these. It's okay. Okay. And then these together, here, I'm dropping all of my pieces. Okay. These are gonna go right here. I keep dropping them, it's okay. Now, here's the thing to notice. Notice there's sashing here. We have 1-inch strips that put the sashing in there. These are also the cornerstones. Look at how cool that is, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're making blocks. So you just need 4 of these, but you need a whole bunch of the ones for the outside, okay? So do a little math before you start sewing blocks together. I'm gonna grab my little pieces. All right, so we've made mirror images, we've sewn them together, and we've pressed them, and how easy was that, okay? And I'm gonna tell you that the reason that We fan fold over the fabric, so some are facing up and some are facing down, is because we're creating those mirror images. All right, Brock, any other questions? Any other shout outs to friends before we announce today's winner?
We do have a couple. So we have one comment here that says, my quilting buddy is Leanne because she has a long arm and I don't. Not the only reason we're friends, but it certainly helps.
Certainly makes a difference. Okay.
Let's see.
I like that.
Connie W says, I do have a great group of fellow quilters at our local quilt shop. Have sewn once a month together for several years now. Wonderful.
I love that.
And then we had a question from Brenda in Calgary.
Hi. Ooh, where it's probably really cold.
Do a lot of quilters using 10-inch squares? What would you recommend buying, 9 or 10-inch?
Oh, the cube?
I think so.
Okay, here's what I love about the 10-inch, because I can do that math. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I like the 10-inch cube because it finishes to a size that is easy to multiply in quilts, and we have a lot of 10-inch bob dies. So I would say if you're thinking between the 9 and the 10, now here's the question that I have for you. What cutter do you have? To have the 10-inch cube, you need the Go or the Go Big cutter. But if you have the Go Me, you can use 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9-inch cubes through your little Go Me. So if you have a Go or a Go Big, get the 10-inch cube. All right, shall we announce our winner today? Oh, wait, I got to do my little spiel here. Follow the pattern, lay out your blocks, finish the project by adding batting between the top and the backing. Pinner-based quilt is desired. Use your favorite binding method. And be sure to share your projects with us on all of our social media platforms. Use that hashtag AccuQuiltBuilt. Then we can find them and you can be part of our intro video. All right, now Brock can announce the winner today.
Okay, our winner of a friendship chain die is Elizabeth H. from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Congratulations, congratulations. You're gonna love it. I like it because you can make lots of different patterns with it. All right, before we sign off, we have just a handful left of our Go Bee and Beehive dies. Don't forget, we have free embroidery available for all of our applique shapes, including the Bee and Beehive, on the AccuQuilt website. We also have some really fun for purchase ones. If you watched last week's show, the lovely Erica was here, and she made a really cute zipper tote, a zipper bag, right, using the Bee and the Beehive. You were here.
I was here.
I was not, but you were here. All right, on behalf of all of our people offsite, so offsite we have Caitlin and Emily and
Courtney and Katie are helping us today.
Courtney and Katie, all of the people are helping us today. Here in the Dream Studio, we have Greg and Brock and Kenyon, and I'm Pam, reminding you at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. Join us on Tuesday, December 5th at 12 noon Central Time as we release the December Die to Try. It's the last one of 2023. And then be sure to come back for next week's AccuQuilt Live as I show you how to cut and sew a block using that new die to try.